Metallic Minerals ist eine Explorationsfirma mit spannenden Projekten im Yukon und in Colorado. Die Firma sucht im Yukon speziell nach Silber. Und der Yukon ist nicht nur deswegen spannend, weil er als hochgradigste silberproduzierendste Region auf der Erde zählt, sondern für Metallic ist es auch gerade spannend, weil die großen Firmen in der Region auch bereits begonnen haben, kleinere zu übernehmen. Dazu erzählt uns CEO Greg Johnson gleich mehr im Video. Auch ist Greg Johnson nicht nur der CEO und Chairman von Metallic Minerals, sondern Greg ist ein erfahrener CEO, der bereits Firmen wie Nova Gold aufgebaut hat. Nova Gold ist heute knapp 2 Milliarden Euro wert und gehört zu den bekannteren Playern im Sektor. Zudem hat die Firma noch ein interessantes Projekt, wie angesprochen in Colorado, und auch hierzu wird Greg uns jetzt mehr erzählen. You had some exciting news release by the beginning of 2023 already, but before we dive in deeper into your company, can you please give us an overview about Metallic Minerals, its projects, as well as the exciting opportunity for shareholders?
So Metallic Minerals is an exploration development stage company. We're listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange. We are focused, as you said, in 2 locations, which have excellent geology and are renowned for their mineral production historically, and are seeing really kind of a renaissance in exploration in recent decades. And that is in the Yukon territory. Our flagship operation is the high-grade Keno Silver project located in the Keno Silver district. Adjacent operating neighbor was Alexco Resources. They were acquired by Hecla in a big transaction last fall. And Hecla is in the process of taking those mines into production. I think they're targeting Q3, Q4 of this year. So a new neighbor, well-financed, one of the world's most respected high-grade underground silver miners. This is now their highest grade mine in their portfolio. So we're excited to see them come in. We think this is going to be great news for our adjacent project. So effectively, we control the other half of the Keno Hill Silver District that Hecla doesn't own. And so the exploration upside, the less explored part of the ground, very strategic for this district, is on Metallic Minerals ground. And we're advancing about 5 different areas to initial resources. And we've got another 40 targets that look very prospective for exploration drilling. So really kind of building a pipeline of targets that we're drilling and advancing towards first 43-101 resources.
Wie also bereits angekündigt, spricht Greg in diesem Teil davon, dass das Keno Hill Silberprojekt in einer strategisch vorteilhaften Lage liegt. So hat Hecla Mining erst kürzlich die Firma Alexco Resources übernommen und ist somit ein neuer und auch großer Nachbar von Metallic Minerals. Die Firma könnte somit mit seinem sehr großen und natürlich auch aussichtsreichen Keno Hill Projekt das nächste Ziel der großen Player werden. Auch die zuletzt veröffentlichten Ergebnisse und die, wie Greg sie anspricht, zu erwartenden Ergebnisse deuten darauf hin, dass sich dort ein großer Silberschatz im Boden befindet, den das erfahrene Management weiter explorieren will. Doch die Firma, die hat noch ein weiteres sehr spannendes Projekt in seinem Portfolio, nämlich das Plata-Projekt in der USA, Colorado. Hier werden auch wieder Silber, aber auch Gold und Kupfer exploriert und dazu gibt uns Greg ebenfalls einen sehr guten Einblick.
Second, big development in the company has been the acquisition of the La Plata project. So this is copper, silver, gold, and critical minerals. It's located in a high-grade gold and silver producing district. So very similar to Keno Hill, but in the southern part of the state of Colorado. So it's down near large producing mines like Newmont's Cripple Creek operation. There's 2 large porphyry systems that are in the region operated by Freeport-McMoRan. And to the north, you have Bingham Canyon, which is one of the world's largest copper gold producers operated by Rio Tinto. So we're in elephant country. This type of system is what we call a porphyry system. So it's a intrusive related deposit, which means it has the potential to be very large. Some of the world's largest copper producers come from these intrusive systems called porphyries. And what's exciting about this, the district, as I said, have this long history of high-grade silver and gold, but post-World War II, the majors came into the district recognizing that these veins, these high-grade veins, were being driven by this porphyry. And so Rio Tinto came in the 1950s, recognizing the system, did some drilling. That was then followed by Freeport in the 60s and 70s, who did some additional drilling. The project kind of languished for a while in Freeport, and 2 very astute investors picked it up in early 2000 at the low of the copper market cycle, recognizing the long-term value. And that asset got brought to us just a couple of years ago. The reason it was such a good fit for us is myself and other members of the team are the original founders of NovaGold Resources. This is a company in the last cycle that we took from a micro cap company, $5-10 million market cap, to today it's a $3 billion development stage company. So tremendous work by the team over more than a decade to build that value, but we're implementing the same strategy and approach in metallic minerals and the metallic group of companies. So we worked on a project for NovaGold called Galore Creek. It's one of the largest copper, gold, silver systems in the world, one of the biggest in Canada, and geologically very similar to La Plata. So this project for us at La Plata is a perfect fit for our team, with both the high-grade vein experience at Keno Hill, with the alkalic porphyry copper system like Galore experience from NovaGold that we can apply to La Plata. So we have rapidly moved it to a first resource. We delivered that resource in spring of 2022. And in the summer of 2022, fall of 2022, we had an expansion drill program, and the results for that are pending. But Jan, we just got back from the Vancouver Roundup Conference, which is a big center where explorationists from around the world come, and the big mining companies. And we were invited to have a display of our drill core. So these are the cylinders of rock that the drills drill. And there was a lot of excitement around that. We don't have the assays back yet, but the two big expansion holes that we drilled both intercepted over 800 meters of continuous mineralization. That's just massive. And the mineralization in those holes is getting stronger with depth. So we're very excited to see the results of the assays that we expect here within the next few weeks or a month to come out. And that should lead towards an updated resource. And depending on the results, it may modify the model and give us ideally some vectors. Which way are the better grades? Which way do we want to take the next steps in terms of drilling? But already it's a big system with over 1 billion pounds of copper equivalent. So that's the copper and silver value. Historically, they didn't assay for gold. So now that we're assaying, we're realizing there's gold here. There's also platinum group metals. There's rare earth minerals. So this is really an interesting geologic system because it brings so many elements of value together with the copper, with the silver, with the critical mineral component. And we're in a great location, roads and power nearby, and a long history of mining in this region.
Auch hier befindet sich das Projekt in einer bekannten Lage mit weltbekannten Nachbarn. Zudem spricht Greg an, dass es viele Gemeinsamkeiten zwischen dem heutigen Metallic Minerals Projekten und den damaligen Anfang von NovaGold, der anderen Firma, die er groß gemacht hat, gibt. Der Vorteil ist hier aber, dass viele aus dem Team von NovaGold nun ihre gesammelten Erfahrungen mit zu Metallic Minerals und der Metallic Group of Companies gebracht haben und somit genau wissen, worauf es in diesem Stadium ankommt. Auch berichtet Greg, dass er ein Ressourcen-Update in diesem Jahr erwartet und wir dürfen gespannt sein, was genau uns dort erwartet. Denn dieses geologische System, was sich im Boden befindet, hat viele spannende Überraschungen bereit. Nun gibt es aber noch ein drittes Asset der Firma und das ist eng verknüpft mit den spannenden News, die Metallic Anfang des Jahres bekannt gegeben hat. Fans des Senders D-Max oder Discovery Channel, die werden sicher schon mal die Serie Goldrausch in Alaska gesehen haben. Dort gibt es einen jungen Mann und wenn ich mich nicht täusche, ist der auch mit deutschen Wurzeln, der heißt Parker Schnabel. Parker ist aber kein Schauspieler in der Serie, sondern er kommt tatsächlich aus einer Mining-Familie und leitet auch die Firma Little Flake Mining. Und was es damit auf sich hat, das wird Greg uns jetzt noch einmal genauer erzählen.
The third asset, and this is the one that we just had the recent news on, was the entry into a production royalty agreement with the star from the Gold Rush television program on Discovery Channel. And this is, for people who are familiar, this is the mining company that mines on the Gold Rush program. Last year, they produced $20 million US worth of gold on the property downstream from us. They've now signed an agreement to come on to our ground because they've exhausted their own. Our property is larger. And, based on what they've produced down there, we're optimistic that we may see similar levels of production. And we will take a royalty of 10 to 15%. That's our typical royalty. It's much higher than what you see with the hard rock deposits because costs are lower for these miners. So as the property owner, we can take a higher royalty. But the opportunity here is can cover our operating costs as a company to run the company, and it could actually start to contribute towards exploration. And this is very similar to the early days at NovaGold again, where we had an operating sand and gravel business in the early days that helped us position the company to take on those large projects at Donlin Creek and Galore, et cetera. So we're excited to see this new development. They're planning a 400 drill hole program this winter. They will start their pre-production work to start mining in the spring, and we should be producing gold by June. So it's a very fast track. They are the first operator, but we have 4 permits in place upstream from them, and we're working on 2 more. So we've got visibility towards, eventually, 7 or more operations that could all be producing gold and cash flow for metallic minerals in the near term.
Das Spannende an dieser Kooperation ist also nicht nur, dass Parker Schnabel aus dem Fernsehen bekannt ist, sondern vielmehr, dass die Royalty-Einnahmen auch das Potenzial haben, die Kosten von Metallic Minerals zu tragen. Das wäre ein großer Schritt und auch hier sieht Greg wieder eine große Parallele zu den damaligen Anfängen von NovaGold. Zu guter Letzt wollte ich jetzt von Greg aber nochmal eine Planung und die zu erwartenden Milestones für das kommende Jahr haben, damit ihr als Investoren auch wisst, was euch dort erwarten könnte.
We just released additional results from the western part of the Keno district. This is an in-holding internal to Hecla's ground, and this returns some of the highest grade silver numbers that we've seen on the property. There's still one more news release to come in terms of major news release on the high-grade Caribou area, and with those 3 news releases out on the drilling from Keno Silver, we'll be able to move towards resource modeling, and we are targeting to have the first 43-101 resource for the company in 2023. That'll be a big milestone. The next big milestone, and this is coming in the near term, as I mentioned earlier, are those 2 big expansion drill holes that we did at La Plata. And then lastly, I think as the drill program is undertaken on the alluvial royalty portfolio, as we see them start to develop into the mine and get it into production this year, that'll be exciting to be reporting royalty production from there. And then as we're able to bring in new partners. So 2023 is looking like an exciting year.
Wir sehen also, dass Greg Johnson und sein Team mit Hochdruck an ihren Projekten arbeiten. Und wir dürfen gespannt sein, was uns hier auch noch in diesem Jahr erwartet. Wenn der Goldpreis sich weiter so positiv entwickelt und damit den gesamten Junior-Mining-Sektor positiv beeinflusst, dann könnten eben genau solche Firmen wie Metallic Minerals mit einem guten Fundament eine spannende Zukunft erleben. Wer sich den Chart anschaut, der sieht, dass Metallic bereits beim letzten Ausschlag in dem Sektor direkt riesige Schritte gemacht hat. Und vielleicht ist auch genau das beim nächsten Anstieg des Sektors wieder der Fall. Wer weiß, vielleicht honoriert der Markt die Firma. Wir werden es sehen. Schaut gerne im nächsten Video wieder vorbei. Mehr Infos zu der Firma gibt es auf axinocapital.de. Jetzt gerne ein Abo auf dem Kanal lassen und dann bis zum nächsten Video.